Let's get to the rugby league. Cameron, we have a situation out of the weekend. Golden Point was exciting. Golden Point draws. Did you have any drama with a Josh Aloiai on Sean Johnson penalty that led to Golden Point? Josh Aloiai has subsequently been charged, where other people have gone on the text line today saying they should apologise, they got that wrong. But there's more than just penalty. There's judiciary charge that have followed up.
Oh, I don't think it should have been a penalty to start with. I think we've seen this rule come in over the years where we've tried to avoid defenders coming in and attacking the kicker's legs, where you see it a lot where a kicker sort of jumps in the action of kicking and a defender follows through and sort of hits him around the legs, which is quite dangerous. But I didn't really feel that Josh Aloiai had anything to answer for in that case. Like he come through with some kick pressure on Sean Johnson. So as a defender, remember the way Steve Price used to get charge downs? So he'd dive. Yeah,
that was missile.
Right?
Missile,
yeah,
wasn't
missile.
He? Yeah.
And he'd dive down, and he was very good at it.
If he did that now, if Steve Price did that, he'd get 3 years suspension.
100%, Brandy. And I remember actually he charged down a kick. I forget who it was against, and I think someone actually... It
was Joel Kane's brother.
Joel Kane's brother, Ricky Kane, isn't it?
Ricky Kane. He finished his career.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So,
that was the end of his career.
And there was nothing done about it. So, look, the game has moved on since then. But, Josh come through, put kick pressure on him. Like, his feet didn't leave the ground, and he didn't attack his legs. Like, he was just going to hit the ball. Like, it was just the follow-through. I had a look at one of Daly Cherry Evans' attempts at field goal in Golden Point. You could argue that there was slight contact on his leg, but because he didn't fall to the ground afterwards and sort of look like that there was some sort of injury, there was nothing done about it. It was just play on. Yeah. So I don't know. Like you guys might feel differently, but I didn't think that warranted a penalty.
Brandy and I thought, I know Lachlan Ilias, it's tragic, the broken leg injury, but we both said, well, Joey Lussick, it wasn't like he was doing a Steve Price. He was putting kick pressure on a last tackle play, last seconds of the game where the team is down by 6. They have to come up with something. Yeah. So he put serious kick pressure on Lachlan Ilias, and then it was leg-on-leg contact. Yeah. I could have... Look, I wouldn't have blown up if Lussick didn't get a ban.
Yeah. See, different circumstances for both kicks. So in the Joey Lussick one, or the Freddie Lussick one...
Freddie Lussick.
Freddie Lussick.
Correction
on that. My initial thing was when Lachie Ilias went through with a kick, I'm thinking, why did he kick that? Like, why did he actually go through with a kick? Because Lussick was all over him. Yeah. Like, Lussick was virtually on him as he kicked the ball. And anyway, then I heard the snap. But when they referred him straight to the judiciary, I thought, oh, that's a bit tough. Like, that is a bit tough. But... Again, I'll go back to why I said, well, penalty blown, yes, because Sean Johnson had no choice but to kick the ball. He was going for a field goal to try and win the game. And the onus is on the defender. The onus of whether he contacts the leg or not is on him. And I'll go back to a Good Friday game, James Graham, Adam Reynolds, or James Graham and, Adam Reynolds. James Graham was penalised, remember? But going at the legs of Adam Reynolds as he kicked the ball, a field goal. Well, I think the onus is on the defender.
Okay, and just a correction, contact. Tony Kane was the brother of Joel. Tony, not
Tony
Ricky, who had the leg broken. Yeah,
that was the worst injury. That was one of the worst sights I think I've seen on a footy field. That
snap the leg. All right, well, that's one controversial incident from the weekend. I want to throw at you the contenders and the pretenders a little bit. Not the whole lot. Don't want to go through the whole lot. But the Cowboys are a confusing team for mine.
Yeah.
Even in that game against the Dragons, we go back a few weeks ago, you looked at the way they were just opened up. They could have been 24 down after 30 minutes or so. Are they contenders, or are they more pretender at the moment, the Cowboys? Obviously, they can score points. But they're beating 27-20.
There's something not there. Yeah,
Cam, what is it?
Well, I think if you go back and look at the start of the year, right, they were on fire. But maybe we've just been a little bit sort of blindfolded by the results and who they played. So they played the Dolphins first up, right, and they were awful, the Dolphins. They couldn't hold on to the football. I worked on that game at Suncorp Stadium. it's the worst performance of their season so far for the Dolphins. The Cowboys smashed them. It was 40-odd to 18. And then they beat the Knights. Remember, they just got past the Knights. It took a Chad Townsend field goal up in Townsville to get past them.
They're in a lot of trouble.
A lot of trouble. And then also against the Dragons, I think the Dragons got out to, 16-0? Something like that.
Well, it could have been, if Raymond Fatala Mariner holds the ball, it would have been 24-4.
That's right. So, and so maybe we thought they were going a little bit better than what they actually were. And then they come up against, the Broncos. The Broncos hammered them. So they haven't really come up against, some decent opposition with all due respect to those other sides. So, they just – look, there's no doubt they can score points. And they're a very good attacking footy side if they get, some field position and they get some run of the football. But they're not backing it up with their defence, though, boys. They're not backing.
Let me go a little bit further.
With their defence.
I'll go a little bit further with both of you. At the moment on our ladder, the top six, there's the Sharks, the Storm, the Cowboys, the Dolphins, the Panthers, the Raiders. Out of those, which one have proven themselves this season? Oh, they're a certainty top four. Because I don't know whether any of them have. Even the Storm, I mean, they've become the cardiac kids with the close finishes. But I'm not this is so open, this competition. Seriously. Sharks, Storm, Cowboys, Dolphins, Panthers, Raiders. Panthers, you say, top four because of what, they're three-time champions. But I don't know whether any of the other five I'd want my life on to say they're going to finish top four. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? But given, well, you look at the Sharks and the Storm, they're the only sides that have lost one match. They've each had a bye, so again, we talk about these 2 points for byes. It gives it a little bit of a, another sort of false sense of where everyone's at because they're sitting 1 and 2, but they've got the 2 points on the bye. But you probably say they're the standouts, maybe. You got to remember the Panthers. They've been without Cleary now for how many games? 2 or 3?
Two.
So he's. Like everyone around him, they're great footy players. They work hard, but he's the one that they work their entire game plan off. So when he's back, they're a different footy side. But there's really not one team that's been a standout where you say, look, that's the team to beat this year. Everyone thought the Broncos, but they've had a bit of a sketchy start to the season as well. It's all a little bit up and down at the moment.
All of a sudden the Broncos look scared. I know Payne hasn't been there, and you put Payne in, it's a different story. But, boy, without Payne and with Thomas Flegler not there this year, they look a bit skinny. Yep. Pat Carrigan has been holding that middle together. Carrigan's for consistent, just consistent and outstandingly consistent, but not just getting through his work. He's such a good player.
Yep.
Juan the Eagle on the text says, morning, boys. Finally, someone with common sense. Well done, Smithy. Allier went nowhere near SJ's legs. He also acted like his whole ankle was broken, yet 5 seconds later stands up to take the kick. Well played, SJ, but bad play ref, says Juan the Eagle. He is on your side. Bondi Jack's always entertaining on the text. He says, Vossy, wake up. The Cowgirls have been a hoax in capital letters for a very long time, says Bondi Jack.
Wow.
Well, a very long time.
Well, I thought the Cows could make the 8 this year, and I'm still thinking they can.
Yeah, they should.
But they should make the 8. Sharks. I don't think I had the Sharks in my 8. Certainly had Melbourne, and I think Melbourne were in my top 4. Melbourne will be there again, but I know what you mean. They've got themselves out of a hole plenty of times. Brandy blaming Lockie. I've heard it all now. You two have worked too much. You're both going cray-cray. Says Dunny. Crazy at me.
Okay.
No, I'm not blaming Lockie. I'm just saying he shouldn't have gone through with a kick. Like, I'm a halfback. I used to kick the ball a lot. And, when someone's on top of you, you don't go through with the kick. You pull.
Darren Lockyer, you feint,
put a bit of footwork,
step, go.
Well, you step. Yeah, anyway, but I'm not saying that it was Lockie's fault. And I'm not saying that Lussick shouldn't have been suspended. But I don't think he needed to get 4 weeks for it.
No. Cam Smith is our special guest on a Monday right here on Breakfast with Vossy and Brandy. We're powered by Kubota. They've got the tractors, they've got the mowers, the land pride attachments. And Brandy is Santa Claus. He's given away the Kickin' In voucher this morning. Brandy, how do people win a $100 Kickin' In voucher? How do they get in contention?
It's that easy. And we've got a Signet Boost power bank that we're going to give away too. But all you have to do is follow us on Insta. Just give us a follow. Give us a Get on board.
The influencer has spoken. Greg Alexander.
In the game between the Tigers and the Dragons, and it was about a scrum penalty and the repacking of a scrum, which is, they're well within their rights. They get a choice. You take the penalty or you can repack the scrum. Reason for repacking a scrum?
If you catch them out a second time, they get a player automatically sin binned. That is the rule that the NRL brought in just a couple of years ago. This is pull up your socks for underworks, by the way, Cameron. Pull up your socks for underworks. Now, I'm saying Grant Atkins, it's an indirect attack on him, saying he then warns the Dragons not to break the scrum. Like, that's the reason that they've moved. That's why they're repacking the scrum, to try and catch them out. Then you have a referee giving the other team the heads up, make sure you don't go. Like, that's not right, Cameron. That can't be right. The ref's got to shut up in that case, doesn't he, Cameron?
Oh, well, I think it's just out of habit, Vossy. They do it at every scrum. They give the teams a warning just to stay in. And I think in that situation, he's probably thinking too, like, I do not want to put someone in the sin bin here. Even though they all should know the rules, like they should be aware that they've just given a penalty away. The scrum has been repacked. If someone is offside in this situation, whether it be breaking early or leaving from the line, someone will go to the bin. I think it's just out of habit. They do it at all the scrums.
Could Ben Hunt say at the scrum base, being the captain, could he look at Grant Atkins and say, I'm going to captain's challenge that? Let's go to the video, and I'm going upstairs. Did you just give them off?
Did you just give them a warning? I challenge you. They challenge you.
Wow.
Nice. That could be big. Do you have any pull up your socks nominations, Cameron, from the weekend? You want to go down somewhere there? A team that needs to pull up their socks, or a moment, or a player?
I'm just gonna go the Knights, boys. I think they really missed a golden opportunity to beat the Roosters. The Roosters were very brave. It looked like they were going to get beaten by 40 points in the first 15 minutes, but they fought back and won a tough match. But the Knights, boys, come on. When you fall back, he's been battling a hip pointer injury all game, and he gets the ball with 2 minutes to go, and you're down by 2. He makes a line break. Where are you? Push up, boys. Yeah. Push up. And then they still had an opportunity when Elliott come out to his left-hand side. He actually got the ball free and looked like he wanted to pop it up. There wasn't a Knights play within 15 metres, fellas.
And then last tackle, it's Jaden Brayley kicking it dummy half. Your playmakers are 3 passes away from the ruck. Your halves are 3 passes away from the ruck.
Come on, boys.
Unbelievable.
You got to be there in those situations.
Like KP.
Good shout.
You should know. He's a chance of breaking a line at any stage. My pull up your socks for underworks is the rest of the field at the Masters. Pull up your socks. Scotty Scheffler's leading by 3. Seriously.
They're going to have to do it pretty quickly, Brandy.
350. I don't think they can do it, Kevin. That's what I mean. They're gone.
Andrew says on the text, the 2 teams on 7 points have been close to the best this season. I don't disagree with that. The Warriors and Manly, they're on 7. They're behind the top 6 sides. I don't disagree with it. They've been certainly as good as any of the teams ahead of them. Would you agree with that, Manly and the Warriors, on their best form this year? No. Manly had that shocker against the Dragons a few weeks ago, but apart from that, pretty good.
Yeah, they've been pretty rock solid.
The Warriors in every game.
Yeah, pretty rock solid. What a game that was too, going into Golden Point and obviously a draw. But look, I've been a fan of the way both sides have played this year. Really huge fan. Of course, you know, Manly had that shocker against, it was the Dragons, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Dragons.
Yeah, they were absolute shocker. You know, it's the worst they've played in 5 years. But I reckon they'll be there. They keep playing the way they're playing. They keep their sort of best sort of 18, 19 players fit. They'll be thereabouts, boys.
Now, Cameron, we'll send you on your way. You got a big rap from one that won the Eagle. Now, Azza from DY's come back. Now, he's from DY, so he's in the Northern Beach. He says, what world is Smithy living in? He thinks the LEI charge down wasn't even a penalty, but he did take Johnson's legs on the follow-through, which means it is a penalty. Come on, Smithy, says Azza from DY. So there's 2 totally opposite opinions. So pat on the back and then a little kick in the balls.
Yes.
Cameron,
thank you.
Have a great week. You're on the captain's run with Denon midweek here on SEN.
Catch you next Monday, boys.
See you, Smitty.
Good on you, Cameron Smith, right here on Breakfast with Vossy and Brandy, powered by Kubota.